Just when you thought you knew who Kendrick Lamar was, probably through a couple interviews, probably from some songs, or you probably seen him at a hip-hop pop-up shop and he was busting a couple freestyle rhymes with a couple people, and you really don't know until now. And there's much more to his upbringing than we thought. And today we're going to be reacting to a video and listening to a couple perspectives of people who actually grew up around him and actually know who he was growing up before he changed his life. And I remember there was an interview with Glasses Malone. He was on a podcast and he said, look, y'all think y'all know him. This is the work in progress. Y'all don't know who he was, or the real him, But we're about to be listening to the breakdown of how he was brought up. Where did he come from, and what was his surroundings like? Check this out, y'all.
Kendrick was walking with me. I just felt knuckles go bam. Hit me in the back of the head. Kendrick was like, hey! And he fighting with like two dudes.
I see this nigga Dave and K-Dot chasing the nigga. They jump a nigga.
He thought I was somebody else, bro. He low-key tried to press me. See, Kendrick grew up in the hood, like really grew up in the hood.
What's Kendrick's name from Westside?
The good kid in a mad city. This phrase, often used to describe Kendrick himself, paints a picture of someone surrounded by chaos, but remaining untouched by it. However, this isn't the real story. For one, the title Good Kid, Mad City isn't just about Kendrick. It represents every kid who grew up in Compton, not just those who avoided gang life, but every single child shaped by their environment.
The half of the story of kids in Compton is just basically good kids in a mad city.
I feel that we are good kids in a mad city. You know what I mean? It all stems from being a kid, and it's just the shit you exposed to. You know what I mean? I was exposed to it too.
No one is born evil. It's the circumstances and environments we grow up in that mold us. The album captures this universal experience, reflecting on how good people can be pushed to do terrible things. Kendrick, like many others from his neighborhood, did some of these terrible things.
I don't think they really understand the story all the way. As far as I put out there, I'm just the good kid in the mad city. You know what I mean? I put out the positive out there, but they don't know the negatives I had to go through yet.
Do y'all know when somebody's unalived, their aunt or their mother get up on the podium at the funeral or the wake, and it was like, oh, he's such a good kid. But this kid was in the newspapers. This kid was all over the place as wreaking havoc on the neighborhood. That's because that mother or that aunt or that cousin or grandmother know that kid. Know the kid that's in that teenager or that adult who was unalived. And that's what they remember. So this is why they say, oh, he was such a good kid. Probably when they were young, before they were a product of their environment.
I told them I went to school and I got straight A's, but I didn't tell them that I was out there with the streets, in the streets with the homies.
Kendrick was like supposed to be a nerd or just a regular guy. Now all of a sudden he's like a gangbanger or some shit like that. Like
the idea that you have to actively join a gang to face violence or life-threatening situations is laughable. Even if Kendrick has never raised a flag, that wouldn't mean he wasn't deeply affected by the chaos he grew up around. We all know K-Dot grew up in a dangerous Piru neighborhood in Compton, surrounded by gang culture and violence. His father moved the family to Compton after Kendrick's mother gave him an ultimatum to leave the streets. But the city of Compton turned out to be just as dangerous as Chicago. Despite their efforts to shield Kendrick, the reality of gang life was unavoidable.
Hey kid, where the pump at? Let me go get that. Go get the pump.
Uh-oh. Who y'all seen before that clip who said, yeah, Kendrick, he's this street guy? That was Lord Jamar, right?
now all of a sudden he's like a gangbanger or some shit like that.
And that's a dangerous way of looking at something. Having that type of thought process is dangerous because you think somebody got to tell you everything that they do. And you would misconstrue who this person is. You would take, this is the type of person that would take someone's kindness for weakness. Remember, there's a street code, and it goes a little something like G's move in silence, which means that whenever somebody do something, they're not always going to tell you that they're doing it. You have people, I know the day and time we living in now, but there are people who do things and won't say anything about it, and they know how to cover it up quite well. So when you think of somebody who's, you know, don't tell you everything, they're not posting everything, and you look at that person as weak, that's very dangerous on your behalf.
Death and loss were constants in his world. By the time
I know baby Kendrick ain't say, get the pump. No, he did. Oh, Lord. That was baby Kendrick talking about getting the pump. Or did he say it's a Compton thing? Hold on, bro. Oh, my gosh. Oh, Tink, Tink. Oh, Stink, Stink. Look at Stink. Oh. You could tell that's Kendrick because his ears. He said, it's a Compton thing. Now, let's let you know, like, he was raised out there in the trenches, bro. This ain't no act. He's just somebody who wanted to do better in his life. And there's millions of brothers that's like that who don't get the acknowledgement that they deserve. And this is why I always try to give him his flowers, because it is very hard to shake that off. It's very hard to shake that off. Kudos to these brothers that's changing their life from being from the trenches, y'all.
death and loss were constants in his world. By the time he was 8 years old, he had witnessed 2 murders. And as a teenager, Kendrick felt the pull of the streets. His father, after recognizing where Kendrick was headed and seeing the kind of company he kept, had a serious conversation with him. My father said, "I don't want you to be like me." I couldn't grasp it at the time. He told me about his mistakes and warned me not to make the same ones. His father was a street dude, and now he was seeing his son heading down the same destructive path. So he tried all he could to steer his son in the right direction. But still, the pressures of the streets were too strong.
That man knew a lot, but not enough to keep me past the streets.
Where you at?
My pops was still, you know what I mean, bumping his head too, but at the same time, he always had so much of a love for me. He gave me the wisdom in the game to say, you know what, I did that, don't do that. And sometimes he could stop it, sometimes he couldn't, because I still had my friends surrounding me in the community.
Lil L, Kendrick's best friend since elementary school, represents the Pyru set. He became widely known after appearing in Noisy Compton. L's life has been turbulent, marked by time in and out of jail since his teens. His mother's addiction to crack during his early years left him reliant on care from others in the community. Jason Keaton is another one of his close childhood friends. He lost his mother in the 6th grade, and by the time he was 14, he was fully immersed in the Westside Pyru gang. In 2007, Jason was sentenced to 21 years in prison. After he got arrested, he asked Kendrick to look after his younger brother, Chad. Tragically, Chad was killed in a drive-by shooting in 2013, leaving Jason with immense guilt for introducing his brother to the gang lifestyle. Kendrick also felt guilty for being unable to protect Chad, as he had promised.
I felt more safer in Afghanistan than I did what I do here. It's constantly, you have to watch cars going up and down your street. When you walk outside your house, you want to see who's out there before you step too far outside your front door now.
Chad was a really hard one for Kendrick. It was really hard for him because Chad was like younger than us, you know, like a little bro.
J-Man, another childhood friend, faced a similar fate.
My big brother was from the hood, you know what I'm saying? So his name J-Man, you know what I'm saying? A member affiliated with a known gang. He found himself going to prison for 25 years. You feel me? I ain't had no daddy or no mama at the time, you feel me? So all I had was the hood.
Some of his other childhood friends.
So when you, as a rapper, you come along in a rap game and you 25, you 30, you never lived this type of lifestyle before. And all of a sudden you want to attach yourself to the traumas that people experience and what people are trying to run away from. It makes you look corny, bro. Like, You want to attach yourself to heartache and pain, and you didn't witness this. You want to glorify what we're running away from. And not only that, you want to say that I'm not about that? What? Because I didn't get locked up, because I actually try to get away from that as much as possible. I didn't suffer the same atrocities as some of my friends and relatives that I grew up around. And you, who didn't come from none of this, want to tell me I'm not about that. What? I would leave somebody like that alone, bro. I will leave somebody like that alone, bro. And this is probably why Kendrick is silent through all this Iceman shit. Because it's like, for what? I ain't gotta come out and say nothing, man.
Friends are Lil Ducky, J Real, and Yang Yang. Ducky recently just finished a 10-year prison sentence.
So Bob de Paru, nigga do 2 summers of participation. Bitch, I went 25 summers straight. I've been knowing this nigga Kendrick on my son life. On my son life. I've been knowing this nigga since this, nigga. Yes. On my son, nigga. Yeah. No cap, nigga.
J Real and Yang Yang are mentioned in Kendrick's song Mad City and have appeared in his music videos. However, there isn't much information about them. G-Weed is someone who he calls his big homie. He's currently doing 11 years in prison. Everyone I've mentioned so far all falls under the Westside Pyrus. Unlike his friends, Kendrick had the stability of a father who provided guidance and a mother who avoided addiction. Despite this, he didn't shy away from joining his friends in their activities. They smoked, drank, committed petty and serious crimes, fought rival neighborhood kids. He was even banging the set for a time. Here's the thing about gangbanging. I was born in that area where you have to be affiliated. Gangs is my family. I grew up with them. Everything from Good Kid, Mad City actually happened to him.
Kendrick's been...
But that is another thing when, when the OGs and the older brothers, they see that you have a talent. They see that you have a knack, or you could potentially get yourself out of here and run away from. A lot of them do look out. Like, bro, you don't need to be doing this over here. You don't need to be doing this.
Making Good Kid, Mad City since I known him. So for me, it was like all those stories. It was just like, finally people get to hear the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Did you really meet a woman in a shopping center, or did that actually happen?
Yeah, definitely. It was us being depressed because something just happened to our homeboy, tragic.
Right, yeah.
And when we got confronted by this lady inside of a shopping center, that was the actual moment that really transpired, to me actually making a change in my life.
Hold on. Is that Kendrick surrounded with the girls dancing, laughing, joking with the females? Okay. Because as of late, Drake was mocking Kendrick in one of his videos, and he had the dude dancing, implying that he was avoiding the women. But little do he know, people been there and done that. Only you want to be famous. Been there and done that, bro. This is old news. This is new to you because you missed this growing up. You didn't have this growing up. So now you about to be 40. You just learned how to be around women because of your celebrity, being a celebrity and your superstardom. You just learned this. People off that, bro. Especially at 40, like, yo, people off that. Trying to settle down. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. You trying to appeal to the younger go sit down, man.
Inspired, to me actually making a change in my life. Drinking habits. You'll see when I had them. Yeah. You'll see smoking habits. That was me.
You?
That the guy laced.
Oh.
Reason why I don't smoke. And it's in that album.
Oh, who's the motherfucker that laced your shit?
It's in the story. Sing About Me is definitely a true song. My partner talking to me. Speaking on the story how I was there, when his brother passed, and I got to watch him take his last breath. Him, respecting I was down for his brother no matter how much they called him a delinquent. And if I happen to pass before your album drop, I want you to tell this story. Sing about me. Make sure you sing about me. And he definitely passed too.
When he was 15, he got stomped out. And this wasn't the only time this happened. It's almost normal when you're from where he's from. For example, Kendrick has a childhood friend he started rapping with named Antonio, aka Cannon.
Do you know a guy called Cannon?
My dude Antonio.
Here's a clip of him telling a story of when he and Kendrick were attacked and had to fight a group of dudes.
We were walking to the swap meet to get some t-shirts or whatever, and these dudes were like, hey, where you from? and I just walked out. Kendrick was walking with me. And then I just felt knuckles go, bah! Hit me in the back of the head. And I'm like, I spun around and clipped him on the chin. Kendrick was like, hey! And he fighting with like 2 dudes. I don't know what came over us. We turned into like wild Tasmania devils or something, because we was able to beat up 4 dudes with just 2 of us, and we both short. It was the adrenaline that just had us like...
I believe it. I'm going to tell you why. If you ever seen somebody short rock out, short people got way more energy because they don't have all that body weight on them that's keeping them down. They move way quicker. This is why if you ever seen a short guy fight like a bigger guy, the bigger guy always trying to like grab his arms or trying to grab him because he's too fast. You know what I'm saying? And this is, you might have heard the saying, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. If you get locked up, it's the small ones you gotta worry about. If you ever heard that saying, let me know if you ever heard that in the comment section. But yeah, short people, little people, they rock out, bro. They rock out.
Y'all not about to just pick on us and beat us up. Like, nah, that's not happening.
Eventually, Kendrick started to realize how lucky he was. He had everything his friends didn't: loving and supporting parents, and a talent that could help him escape his environment. At the same time, he was also starting to see the consequences of their choices.
I was probably the only one in America probably with an actual active father in his life. I don't know. Well, at least in Compton. I bumped my head a few times, but what they didn't have, what I had, was somebody to say, all right, you bumped your head, now you see what happened? You in the back of a police car. See what happened? You at the station.
In one interview, Kendrick recalled picking up his best friend Lil Al and pleading with him to join him at the studio. But Al refused, saying that he had to put in work and do his thing. Hours later, he was arrested. What struck him most was the realization that if he hadn't been in the studio, he would have definitely been with Al, committing the same crime, and he'd likely have gone to jail too. From that moment on, their paths diverged. In a 2011 interview, Kendrick admitted he was almost sent to prison himself. He had been arrested and often faced dangerous encounters with police. To this day, Kendrick avoids sharing specifics about that period of his life. He knows how people fixate on negativity, and he doesn't want to glorify a lifestyle that destroyed so many of his loved ones. Instead, he's committed to being a voice of change.
You know, when you think of Compton, all you think about, glorifying street.
Hold on, let me say one more thing. The reason why you get a lot of rappers out here now, the up and coming rappers, these new rappers, they ain't got shit to talk about. The reason why it sounds like they glorifying that, because a lot of them they don't have any talent to write. It's like rapping is just something quick for them to, it's like a stepping stone. It's like a stepping stool. They really don't have that talent like that. You know what I mean? Of the storytelling. Not saying that ain't none of them out there with that talent, but it's a lot of them. The only thing they have is glorifying that negativity. That's all they got. I'ma smash your girl. I'ma run up on the ops. We up on the score. That's all they got to talk about, bro. That's all they got, you know what I mean?
Violence. Me coming from the area, seeing all my uncles and really seeing that lifestyle, I wanted to, bring something different to the table.
And from Compton, I could have easily came out and said, I did this, I did that. I done killed a whole bunch of niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather talk about something a little bit more deeper than that. The reasons and the problem and the solutions behind it.
He sees his role as a person who's showing a better path, even though the darkness of his past still seeps into his music and words. This is the side of himself he tries to hide from the public, the hot-headed shadow self, as his partner Dave Free calls it. In a 2022 W magazine interview, Dave reflected on the side of Kendrick. Those moments when we would get impressed, or me seeing that side of Kendrick which people don't know. I've seen that side of him where he'd be a poet in one moment, but then he'd be protecting himself or his family. Through it all, Kendrick chose to rise above. Most of his friends didn't get that chance, and that's why he refuses to romanticize the streets.
First off, RP to my nigga S Braze, my nigga Chad, and my big homie Pup. I do it for them, but that shit hurted when they took my niggas away from me, man. Shit, all of them died gunshots. Got killed.
This person takes somebody you love, you feel like you want to go get some revenge, you know what I'm saying? Like, seeing him battle with that on the road was like hard, because it's like, it was real. It's like,
Forgiving his friend's killers was an emotional burden, made heavier by the guilt of leaving his friends that were trapped back home. His friend G-Weed was shot in the head and then right after sent to prison for 11 years. Another friend from the neighborhood, Key Richards, was killed a few years ago. He gave him a little tribute while he was performing on SNL. Because of all the people he's lost, he has made it a priority to uplift his community and give back to those he grew up with that are still around. While Jason was incarcerated, he went back to school and got a degree. He also wrote 2 books behind bars that Kendrick promoted while performing on SNL. During that same performance, he celebrated Lil L finally getting his passport, meaning he could go on tour with them. Wow. Since L has been out of prison in 2019, he's been working at PG Lang. He's also being put through school.
Beautiful, bro. That's beautiful, man. Hey, look, it's like normal for people to have their passport that don't come from the hood, didn't have these certain barriers set up against them, didn't have the odds stacked up against them. They like, what the hell you celebrating a passport for? Well, how you celebrating a passport? What? That's something to celebrate. We don't go out and get those, bro. I just got my joint probably like last year. I was happy as hell. Yeah, we don't be getting that. Yeah, the normal people, you know what I'm saying, who they mothers and fathers got all of that stuff and then showed them, yeah, this is how you get it. Bruh, my daughter got her joint when she was like 3. My kids got their joints, you know what I'm saying? I ain't grow up thinking about no damn passport, you know what I'm saying?
Kendrick for an executive position that's waiting for him when he's done.
Right now, he putting me through executive school and shit. It ain't nothing to play. I gotta stay 100% focused. Kendrick and Dave be on my ass about going to the hood, and it's like, you know, they don't want a nigga in jail, so I understand what they saying. Shit, I be in 5-star hotels with them, like, you know, going to the studios with them out of town, like, you know, certain shit that I don't broadcast because, you know.
J Real, Ducky, and Richie also work at the company. I'm sure, like Lil L, there are plans to get them set up long term. He's also looked out for his childhood friend J-Man's little brother Hitter, most recently putting him on GNX. He has created a supportive environment, proving that it's possible to rise above circumstances and inspire change.
From slavery, bro, our people was deprived from so much. And there is a system that's set up, you know, to keep us, you know, moving slow. I want y'all to look at this video. It was done by Corey Kenshin, bro. Now, this is a YouTuber. Like, he get millions of views. And he made a video, you know, I don't really want to talk about it now, but made a video saying how the odds be stacked up against us, against our people. It don't matter how much numbers they give you and all of that. Wherever you go, there's gonna be little traps and little trinkets here to be set up. You know what I mean? To keep you behind. But the thing is, we must keep pushing. We got to keep pushing forward. You know, we got to do this for our ancestors, bro. And this is why I like to react to a lot of Kendrick Lamar stuff, because he remind me of myself. You know what I mean? And bruh, it's a teaching moment. It's something you could teach off of. As far as like all the other art, not all of them, but there's some other artists you could teach off. But bruh, what are y'all rapping about, bruh? Can't teach nobody off this shit, bro. For real, man. It's like y'all glorify this shit. Let's get some positivity up in there. Let's talk about how you gonna put your homeboy on, just like what we seen. Give him a job and all of that. Get him a passport and all. Let him know that it's much more to what you grew up around. It's much more than your upbringing. There's a whole world outside, bro. You know what I mean? But y'all let me know what y'all think about the video. Make sure you hype this video. Subscribe. I'm going to leave a link in the description. BIGGKISH signing out. Going, y'all.